Welcome back my channel. Today I will review The Young and the Restless Friday 23 October. Okay, are you ready?
Guilt eventually eroded Alina's conscience, and she confessed to Devon that she had slept with Nate. Well, wouldn't that be a huge bonus for getting the title of Genoa City Entrepreneur of the Year? Of course, Devon doesn't get the good news and rushes out the door, and into the lobby, where his fist falls right in Nate's face. Amanda had heard the truth, or indeed, she didn't know because Elena could not know when Amanda would face her about it. But she's an intelligent woman and can summarize quite a bit of evidence, including Devon's punch. So Amanda finally knows why Nate had abandoned her, if that was comforting to her. Amanda seemed to be enjoying the gossip about the one-time act of having sex between Nate and Elena as she vented herself to Phyllis. Seriously, Elena can let Devon have her special day without spoiling it because of her guilt. Her time has become really hard as she places her feelings above Devon's tribute to the good deeds he has done in the community. Elena should add ruining his big moment to her list of wrongdoing, and she will feel awful about it. Instead of people praising him after the awards ceremony, Devon's friends mourn the betrayal that Elena had shown him. While his trophy shined brightly, his girlfriend was morally tarnished. Elena admitted to Devon that she was uncomfortable and feared that she would lose him to Amanda and Hillary's memory. Devon wonders if he has ever made Elena happy, and that's a good question. I mean, if she was truly happy with Devon, Elena would never think of turning to Nate. Elena begs Devon for a second chance. Devon is a really good guy, he is not so good, so he kicked Elena into the curb. And just like that, she disappeared, from Devon's life and from his home. Devon then runs straight to Nate to announce that Elena has moved out. Yes, I want to say that the intimacy between the two is gone. Elena also hoped that the money Devon funded for the clinic would not go away, so she decided to quit working there. Shoot, I don't blame Devon if he never trusts them again, especially after Nate declares his love for Elena. Apparently, his entire game with Amanda was exposed. And then Devon decided he wanted to chase Amanda away on a trip to New York. Anyway, perhaps Elena always had a reason to feel insecure. But Amanda was very wise to turn him down, as she only considered the trip as Devon, sticking with Nate and Elena. And she was right, it would be bad if the two of them flew together suddenly. But Amanda gave Devon a better offer, which would be available to him if he wanted to speak, and he accepted. Devon says he will never be able to forgive Elena or Nate, but let's face it, never for long, especially in terms of soap. But Devon really looked forward to a special night with his special woman by her side to receive the Genoa City Entrepreneur of the Year award, even though his woman was embarrassed. Elena and Nate shot a lot of guilty eyes at Amanda and Devon at the event, surprisingly no one else noticed. If Elena heard Devon keep pushing people there, she would kill herself. And then Devon even more guilty when accepting the award to honor Elena and Nate as frontline workers. Those two actually swam in shame. Indeed, Devon could have read the guilt covering Elena's face. I mean, she actually wears a red word on her forehead, for God's sake. It's good that Kyle has Lola to lean on as he struggles to deal with the loss of his grandmother, as Summer is always stalking them. And Summer wasted no time capturing Lola, the second Kyle out of the Crimson Lights. Summer accused Lola of trying to get Kyle back, even though she was the one who slipped. Come on, if Summer really wanted to keep Lola away from Kyle, and vice versa, then she should marry him when given the chance. Summer finally confronts Kyle and says she can see that he and Lola are still attracted to each other. But she just showed how little she trusted Kyle. However, Ray pushed the wedding forward by getting Sharon a ring and making an "I do" date that very night. No, he doesn't worry about Sharon manipulating Adam, does he? While Ray wants to extend the ceremony on Halloween, they decide to get married on New Year's Eve. Hey, wasn't that Nick and Chelsea's first kiss? It's funny how everything these characters are always alternating. But, anyway, now that Adam is a lone wolf, he will likely focus on winning Sharon's heart again. And if Ray continued to force her to bow to all he liked, she could go too, in Adam's arms. Just as Kevin and Chloe were trying to adjust to a small life, Gloria entered her grand entrance. Oh yeah, she came back and actually screamed from the rooftops. The problem is their precious son is trying to sleep. That poor kid probably wouldn't get too much rest with Mrs. Gloria around. But man, she could only stay a few days, and Kevin was so heartbroken, he was almost ready to escort her out the door. Kevin is afraid that the G is in the T, which causes trouble. Gloria has become chaotic like a fish meets water. Gloria asserted that she was successful in Hollywood but gave no details to prove it. She then stole his son and his family in the middle of the night. There's nothing suspicious about that. Kevin immediately let Michael know that something was going on with their mother, and it was all obvious when Gloria couldn't tell his truth. However, Gloria asserts to Chloe in the park that she has a glamorous life in Hollywood but admits it is also a lonely life. This led Chloe to believe her mother-in-law was in serious trouble. So Gloria's sons have to figure out what it is before they soak in the hot tub, thanks to her. For Gloria, it should be something good, or really, really bad. Too bad Jeffrey Bardwell isn't there anymore. I remember Ted Shackelford. Billy and Lily seem to get closer and closer, which makes my heart happy. Lily is quite fond of his wild side, and Billy appreciates her ability to keep him toned, just a little. After all, she wouldn't want to completely kill what drew her to him. Billy told Lily about a teardrop-shaped necklace of love, and she appreciated the story behind it. It's funny how the two treat each other like dream people, and they do, but in different ways. Billy just tended to get what he wanted while not taking prisoners. Hopefully, Billy will have his own tear of love gem. He most likely needs it as he and Lily move forward as well as a professional. Restless spoilers to find out what Elena asks of in Devon. Then, get news about The Young and the Restless, and all the other daytime dramas, delivered straight to your email inbox by subscribing to soaps.com's newsletter. Finally, take a look at our Clean Elena collection with Devon. Now, Kyle is making the same mistakes with Summer he did with Lola, namely, rushing down the aisle despite the warning signs. Kyle and Summer have a longer history than him and Lola, but they've spent most of their time together or with others. They never really take the time to get to know each other and what it feels like to be together in a relationship. Last week, we saw Summer thinking about the highs and lows in her relationship with Kyle. When he finally found her in the park and made clear his intentions, her expression made it clear that she couldn't see everything. If anything, her magic 8-ball, when asked if marrying Kyle was the right move, said, "Ask again later." So what do you say, gentle readers? Should Kyle and Summer continue with their original plan to tighten the knot or consider slowing things down? And is Lola a more threat to their relationship than they are willing to admit now? Summer talks to Kyle, and says that the situation is overwhelming. He wondered, overpower good or overwhelm bad? And Adam told the family that he would live his life no longer a member of the Newman family, and to this day, he cut it all off with them, and he asked them to do it in peace. Though the Abbott family knew that her death was imminent, it was still a shock to them, especially for Jack. However, there was no prolonged hospital bed, as Dina was shown the tear of love necklace that brought a smile on her face for the last time, as Jack wanted. When looking at the time spent with a gentle goodbye to another Alzheimer patient, Mike Corbin at the General Hospital, compared to the time spent with our beloved Dina, it's like night and day. GH said goodbye to Mike for weeks, while Dina had one last day when she was lucky enough to remember her family members with love before she left them. It's still very loving. Cold, touching and heartbreaking. The Abbesses knew that Dina truly loved them. Jack, Ashley and Tracy expressed their feelings about their mother while trying to be honest about them. And they remembered the good and the bad. Only regret that they didn't try to do more while she was still alive. But to credit them, they regretted they didn't do so, and then toast to congratulate their mother. I'm glad we also have a few flashbacks of Dina in tribute to her, and so her fans are able to pay final respect to such an important and outstanding woman. So, after all, without Dina, we wouldn't have our beloved Abbott brothers. I will miss Marla Adams as Dina, and I really hope that she will win the coveted Daytime Emmy Award for 2020 that she really deserves to be honored before. However, the mystery of the Tear of Love necklace is not over. When Billy questioned why the necklace worked for Dina, Jack can only speculate that it reminds her of the happiest days of her marriage to John. So, is the Tears of Love necklace mesmerized, or cursed? Lauren guessed that if the necklace was lost, the owner would lose something most valuable. Jack made a deal with Lauren, and instead of buying it from her, he asked a jeweler to divide the necklace into various jewels to give to family members. Yes, it will be a new and wonderful journey for all the Abbotts and for the Tears of Love. Nate told Amanda that, since working with Elena, he wants to keep a professional distance from her. I guess it's better to keep some social distance from her. Too bad he doesn't take his stance on his career distance when they're sexually happy in their business. Nate actually broke up with Amanda because of his dirty little secret.